Queensland artist Will Day released his album Countryfied last year, and we have had a chat about that. And he already has new music. He has a new single called We Got This, and we are here to speak about that. Hi, Will.
Hi, Sophie. How are you?
I'm very pleased to be speaking to you again, and pleased that you have new music already. That's very efficient of you post-lockdown. So the single is We Got This, as I said, and it's a really inspiring, stirring song. So I'm wondering what the inspiration was behind it.
Yeah. Look, I wrote this song with my wife Skye, and we wrote Countryfied, as we chatted about before, the title track to the album, and it would have been early this year. And I said to Skye, I really like to write a song about just the last few years and the time we've had as a whole, globally, really. And it was almost a little bit therapeutic, I think, for us. It's constantly being, glued to press releases, media releases, and about COVID cases and where can we go, what can we do, and that kind of thing. But also, Sophie, drought, fire, flood, all the things. It feels a bit magnified over the last few years. So I wanted to write a song that hopefully people could relate to. Just say, you know what? Although everything that's happened, we've got each other's backs and we're actually moving forward. We always are moving forward anyway. Challenges aren't new in life, but, I feel like, as I said, it's been magnified the last couple of years. And if anyone can get just a little bit of hope and inspiration from this song, that's what we hope as the co-writers, I suppose.
Do you enjoy working together? I suppose you do, because you've done this more than once now.
We do, and we don't get to do it as often as we like because we have two young children. I'm away touring and I'm working and all this sort of stuff. But it's a nice way. We had to kind of write this song a few early mornings over coffee and stuff before the kids got up. But it's a nice way to be creative together. And I actually met my wife at music college many years ago. So she used to sing a fair bit as well. So it's a nice way, a nice way to spend time together and create something. So
yeah. Long may it continue. Now, because you do play live so much, I'm wondering if you think about performing songs when you write them, because this certainly sounds like a song that's going to lend itself really well to live performance.
Yeah, to be honest, no, not really. That probably comes more so when I'm recording, I suppose, because you think about, okay, well, whatever we do when we record a song, well, my opinion is you need to be able to recreate it live to a certain extent. So, if an audience or someone that follows you listens to the song on Spotify or buy your album, you kind of want to be able to recreate that, to some degree. So, in saying that though, maybe it's a subconscious thing, to be honest, because you want to play songs live that relate, not just in a songwriting sense, but also in a live music sense, and a crowd being entertained. So far, this song has been, it's not like Countryfied, for example, where it's it's super upbeat and rocking. But it is, we've played it live a few times now with the band and on this tour, and it's feeling really good live. I'm just not sure if we replicate that or not, or when we're writing, we try to replicate that, but maybe it's a subconscious thing. Yeah.
Well, I suppose because, yes, as I said, you do play a lot live. You are now used to communicating with audiences and thinking about them. So maybe, subconscious is what it is. And it's also a message, it's also a message that is universal, which is about having challenges and then getting back up again. And I'm wondering what you may have learned in your own life about the importance of getting back up again.
Totally. I've learned a lot, like any human, I suppose, a lot of challenges. I know that you and I have spoken about Dear Dad, a song I released a few years ago, and with Father's Day just passed. Losing my dad really young was it was really tough. But we all face these things, and we all have our own battles. And I suppose this song is really, although it's about, it did come from the idea of the challenges of COVID. That's where the idea was bred from. But it really is in a wider spectrum, going, we've got each other's backs basically, because we all feel the same thing. It's a universal thing, but I think we've universally felt the challenges more so the last 2 years, I guess, is what this song is about.
Yeah, and part of the art of songwriting is to be inspired by something specific and then create something that can be timeless. So I imagine you'll have this on your set list for years to come.
It will be. It'll be a stayer, I think. I've been placing it sort of early in the show with the so far on the tour, and it's been connecting really well. And it's almost, when I play it live, even it's quite a release playing it live. It's almost like like I said earlier, it's almost therapeutic to sing those lyrics and finish that chorus with "We got this" as a kind of a communal feeling. So yeah, it's a fun one. It's nice to play live.
And you had to get things in a different way when you filmed the video for this, in that you had to be strapped into something secure, I think, because you went up the Story Bridge in Brisbane for it.
Yes. So this idea was, I'll totally credit my amazing manager and publicist, Karen, for this. It was totally her idea. I can't take credit for this. She said to me one day, because we talk regularly, said, we're thinking about ideas for the film. It's an epic song. It's an epic idea. He said, you're gonna laugh at me. This is stupid. What about the story on top of the Story Bridge? And I kind of went, that could be a thing. So she worked on making that happen for a lot of months. And we finally got there, and the wonderful people at Story Bridge came on board, who do the tours there. And yes, I did have to, we struck a really nice day here in sunny Brisbane. Usually the weather hasn't been so great. So we struck a nice day, and I had my guitar strapped. It was zip tied to me, and then I had to wear this kind of jumpsuit. And JC, he shot the clip, he was wearing the full jumpsuit, and Karen and my wife came up, and we got photos and etc. But it was a unique experience. Being a Southeast Queensland, I've been in Brisbane for 10 years. I've never actually climbed the Story Bridge, so it was actually quite fun. But the idea with the clip was that we're reaching the top, and we're coming back to it after all the challenges. So glad we did it, and can't wait to release it.
I know the guitar was tied to you, but were you at any stage worried about it falling in the river?
Slightly. It was a bit. There was a moment there where because we did it in peak hour on sunset. So the Story Bridge, for those that know it, is hectic at peak hour, right? There was actually a crash, unfortunately, on that. No one was hurt, but it was on that same day, and I just said to everyone else, I hope it wasn't because we were up there doing it, because you look up and you can kind of see when you're driving across there. I hope we didn't cause a distraction, but no, the guitar we had everything, even iPhone, everything had to be strapped onto us essentially, and so it was fun though. It was a unique experience.
Now, you have quite a few gigs coming up, but I'd like to ask you about a gig you played in August, which was the Monkerai BNS Ball. How did it go?
It was a lot of fun. It always is. Now I say Monkerai. I think it actually is Monkerai. I'm not sure. I think it is Monkerai. I think you said it correctly, but I've done that BNS Ball 3 or 4 times now. It's always a great time. I was lucky enough to play the Saturday night, and it's a really great event. And it's a great community, the Monkerai BNS, and they're really welcoming of me, and I'm really glad to be able to do that. And it was a rocking show. It's always cool, really cold, but BNS are just a different beast. It is in terms of a live audience, but I love it. It's country rock and goodness. It was a lot of fun.
I noted that they had a mullet comp. Now, I am presuming you did not enter that.
No, I don't have a mullet currently. They do a thing on the Friday as well, a cow onesie festival. Everyone gets dressed up in a dairy cow onesie, so that happened. I did see some mullets. I was there for the mullet judging. There was some decent mullets there. They also have an iron gut competition. We have to eat a bunch of disgusting stuff, and so and a ute show. It's quite an event actually, and it's really special. It actually is a really well-run event, and it's a lot of fun instead.
Now, you did say I don't have a mullet currently. Does that mean that you did at one stage?
No. I've been throughout high school, and my mum and my sister often pay me out for this, but I had like dreadlocks at one point. I dyed my hair black. I bleached my hair. I went through all these. My hair was down to here once, and it didn't work. So I've been through hair stages, never a mullet. However, the mullet seems to be a thing. It's coming back. It's really, can't believe I'm saying that, but it really is, isn't it?
I blame Cameron Smith, the golfer. Thing. I think he's made it. I think he's put it on the world stage.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, exactly right. So it's coming back. Maybe it's a 2023 thing for me. I don't know. My wife probably won't agree with me, but we'll see.
We'll see how you go. Now, amongst the gigs you have coming up, you have Doomben Racecourse and James Blundell's Farm. So have you played the racecourse before?
I haven't done the Doomben race course, the race day before. So every year they have a not in COVID obviously, but the Brisbane Country Music Race Day, and it's a really big event actually. So this year, Hurricane Phil, Amy Shepherd are playing the Buckleys, Jay Slansky. So my first one, and as a Brisbane person and a Brisbane-based artist, it'll be great to rock that out. And hopefully the weather's really good. So.
Yeah. And the James Blundell connection, have you played with him before on the same stage or even at the farm before?
Yeah, so that event has actually just very recently been rescheduled to April, but it is happening.
Oh,
still.
there you go. I didn't check.
Yeah, it is. But I have. So I met James I grew up in Gundawindi, southeast Queensland. I met James when I was about 14. He came out and did a talk. I remember very clearly him playing way out west and having a chat about his music career. And I remember just going, wow, this guy's amazing. I just started playing guitar, and he's a lovely guy, really supportive of young artists. And I've sort of crossed paths with him a few times at gigs. Yes, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to happen next year, but it's a great cause, actually raising money for a veteran association. So a great artist and a stalwart, and great to be involved in his event.
Well, given that it's been postponed, that gives people even more time to buy tickets. So there you go. And now Warwick.
Yeah. I haven't been to his farm before, so I'm looking forward to heading out to his farm, and it's going to be there's a whole bunch of artists and camping. It's going to be fun. So yes, check out the tickets when they go on sale for that one again.
Yeah. And Warwick Rodeo. Now, I imagine, given your experience, you have played a rodeo before. Have you played Warwick Rodeo before? That's in October.
Yeah, I've played some rodeos before, not Warwick. So Warwick is basically, it's up there in terms of one of the biggest rodeos as far as I can tell anyway. Mount Isa is I'm pretty sure Mount Isa is Australia's biggest rodeo, but Warwick's a big event as well. I haven't played it, and they've had some great acts over the last few years I've seen there, and I'm really excited actually, because the rodeo crowd is similar to a BNS crowd, and it's just it's energetic, it's country rock, and you can just let loose. So looking forward to that one as well.
Are you finding with some of these shows, particularly things like the BNS Ball, that people are so keen to get out and have a good time that sort of like the energy levels are a little bit more heightened than usual?
Yeah, it is, and that could be to do with alcohol consumption as well. Let's face it. But no, look, it's a special energy at these kind of events. I've just been recently. I've been in Birdsville playing at the Birdsville races, and that was so electric. We're in the literally in the outback on the edge of the Simpson Desert. Such a beautiful place. It was such a great time, and we had these epic crowds. Something about it. Something about those country events, where it's a BNS rodeo, a country races event. I love it. I just thrive off, as you mentioned, that energy from the crowd there. And always really welcoming the crowds with these country events. Always, you play through your original stuff and obviously some covers, and they just love live music and live country music. So it's a great feeling.
There are a few festivals cropping up as well, and I some of them I think are for the first time. I'm not sure about the Texas Country Music Festival, which you're playing in November, but it is headlined by the Wolf Brothers, so it sounds like it's going to be a big event.
Yeah, it's a big event. So Texas isn't far from where I mentioned my hometown of Gundawindi a couple of hours. So it's in the Gundawindi Regional Council. So I'm looking forward to getting back to near my hometown. As you mentioned, headlined by the Wolf Brothers, the first one I've done of Texas. They've run that for a few years now. It's a relatively new festival still, so that's going to be great. And it's a fantastic lineup. So yeah, a few festivals popping up, and really some of the shows we talked about that'll see the year out, and then we'll head into Tamworth as well. So no rest of the wicked, which I wouldn't have it any other way.
Do you find that you have to amp up in a different way for a festival show, because it's such a different atmosphere, I would imagine, to a club show where that's quite confined, and with a festival anything could happen and people could wander in at any time, and you're dealing with the weather as well? Yes,
weather is a big factor because you're outdoors. The biggest difference between a festival show like that and a longer, it's the time involved really. Generally you'll play longer shows at a venue or something like that, but you might have 45 minutes to make an impact. And myself with my live show, it's all about crowd engagement and energy from myself and the band. So you just got a shorter time to pack all that energy in and enthusiasm. But it means, it kind of, you can just give it your all, 110% the whole time, and just go hard, which is the best way to do it, I reckon. So festivals are fun. It's a unique kind of gig.
Have you ever had any things go wrong technically at a festival show? Because again, unpredictable elements, and the weather has like cords ever been ripped out or something happened so you can't go on?
Always technical things, whether it's my wireless guitar rig not working, or the microphone, or lots of feedback and your ears hurt and that kind of thing. The band, I spend a lot of time with my touring band. Three great mates of mine that we've dubbed ourselves Will Day and the Drought Breakers this year, because basically wherever we go, it rains, right? So we've been washed out 3 times this year. Now, it was my hometown album launch. It rained that night. We went to a place called Maree in South Australian Outback to play the Curdy Merker Outback Bull. Now, when we rocked up, we flew in, we rocked up in the small charter plane, and they said, "Welcome to Maree. It never rains here, Will, ever." But it poured and had a record-breaking rain. It was just, everyone was isolated. And then there was 2 other gigs after that this year as well. There's a local one. And then Birdsville over the weekend nearly got shut as well because of the rain. So we got a bit of running joke. But the biggest challenge has been weather so far this year, with technical things going wrong.
Well, you could start to hire yourself out as a weather breaker.
That's what we're thinking, the drought breaker shows. If you're in drought, call us up and we'll come and play a show, and the heavens will open up.
Now, speaking of water, am I right in thinking you're playing on a cruise later this year?
I am, yeah. That'll be a big show for me. Also, all these shows are part of the We Got This tour, and I wanted to do a country cruise on the Brisbane River for quite a few years, actually. COVID happened and that didn't line up, and I thought, you know what? I said to Karen, I'm gonna do it this year. So I've themed it as a country Christmas cruise, so something a little bit of fun. It is mid-November. That's when I could get the boat. So about a month out from Christmas, all the supermarkets start advertising now for Christmas. I think I'm gonna get away with it. So I've got some great young artists. I have Lane Pittman coming up to play, Tyler Rodriguez and Jared Wrigley, and also Emily Hatton as well, who has just moved up from Victoria. So for me, it's about trying to support. Lots of artists still support me, and you got to support that next generation as well. So a great lineup, and we're going cruising on the Brisbane River playing country music. So.
That is a really good lineup. So hopefully there might be a Christmas carol or 2 thrown into the set list.
Yeah. I said to the band, well, it might be we can do the stand, there's always Jingle Bell Rock, but I like to try and delve a little deeper into find something a little bit more country for that one. So I'm researching that at the moment.
Now, you mentioned Tamworth, and of course, people who aren't artists may not realise that Tamworth shows get booked well in advance. This year's been a bit different because the festival was in April, and then I think a lot of people had to pretty much turn around straight away and start thinking about January. So are you all set for your shows?
Nelly, yeah, you're right. It happens quite early. So I've been booking shows the last few weeks. There's still a little bit more to do with that. So I've got a couple of shows booked already. There's some great venues, and a little bit of it sort of rescheduled from the actual January when that was meant to happen. Some stuff that didn't happen in April. So it's going to be jam-packed as usual, but it's a special time at Tamworth. It's always something we look forward to as artists, and I think every country music fan does as well. It's such a great time. So the shows will be announced in the next couple of months from my end for that. Yeah.
Fantastic. And so you have released a new song, as we've discussed. Are you looking to release some new music over the coming year, or are you going to focus on live shows?
No, we've got the next single. We're thinking about it'll be somewhere early in the year. So when I recorded this song, We Got This with Matt Feld, the first time working with Matt. I actually went down to Tasmania to record it.
Yeah.
While I was down there, I did another single as well. So, you mentioned in the intro there, just, about being efficient with releases. That's what it's all about. You've just got to keep plugging along and keep being persistent. And that's what it's all about. So plans in the making for the next one already.
Well, now that Matt's making everyone go to Tasmania to record with him, you may as well do some more while you're there.
I know, yeah. It was a special time. He's tucked away there, not far from Cradle Mountain, but a beautiful part of the world. It was really beautiful, actually, and Matt's such a talent. So, yeah, it was. I'd like to do it again. It's just about getting down there and making it happen. But yeah, a great talent.
Yeah, with your very busy schedule, it may be difficult. I'm sure you'll find time though. And in the meantime, we have your new song. We got this. Will Day, lovely to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Sophie. Always appreciate it. Cheers.